Let's say you want the best of both worlds. Cloud scale file storage with the performance and compatibility of an on-premises file server. That's exactly where Azure File Sync comes into play. With Azure File Sync, you can cache multiple Azure file shares on any Windows server, whether it's running in your data center or hosted in the cloud as a VM. This means you can centralize your organization's storage in Azure files while still letting your local users work with files at high speed using familiar access protocols like SMB, NFS, or FTPS. When you configure Azure File Sync, you're turning your local Windows server into a high-performance cache of your Azure files. This gives your users fast, low-latency access to files they use frequently, while the authoritative copy lives in the cloud. And the good news? You're not limited to just one cache. Azure File Sync allows you to deploy multiple caches globally, so your remote offices and branches can access local copies. But everything stays in sync with your central Azure file share. One of the standout features of Azure File Sync is cloud tiering. Here's how it works. Files that are used often stay cached on your server. Files that are infrequently accessed get tiered to Azure, freeing up your local storage. Instead of deleting the file locally, Azure File Sync leaves behind a reparse point, a tiny pointer that acts like a shortcut to the file in the cloud. From a user's point of view, the file is still there. When they open it, Azure File Sync instantly recalls the full data from Azure files, giving a seamless experience. And for transparency, tiered files appear with a grayed out icon marked with an offline file attribute, so users know it's only stored in Azure. Let's look at 4 practical scenarios where Azure File Sync really shines. You might have legacy applications that need to access the same data both on-prem and in Azure. With Azure File Sync, you can lift and shift those apps while keeping their file access patterns intact, because all servers and Azure files see the same synchronized data. If you need to get your branch office up and running fast, just provision a Windows server, install Azure File Sync, and instantly give them access to corporate data without needing complex VPNs or file copy scripts. Once you've set up Azure File Sync, you can use Azure Backup to protect your on-premises data stored in the cache. In a disaster recovery scenario, you can restore file metadata quickly and recall full file content only as needed, accelerating your recovery time. When your local server runs low on space, don't panic. Cloud tiering automatically moves older files to Azure, reducing your local storage footprint while still giving you instant access when needed. Azure File Sync gives you a scalable, resilient hybrid storage solution that combines local speed with cloud durability. Whether you are modernizing branch offices, enabling remote work, optimizing costs, or preparing for DR scenarios, this tool makes it easier to blend on-premises flexibility with cloud efficiency. In your next lab or deployment, consider which file shares can I centralize with Azure File Sync, and how will cloud tiering help me save on storage while boosting performance?